Hey you guys, Beth Matati here, and we are going to record a series of First Impression Fridays. So you're going to see me look exactly the same in a couple of videos, and that's because I'm going to pre-record some videos. I'm going to be moving the middle of August, but I want to still have uploads for you guys. So I'm going to try to get several videos done so that I still have something for you guys. So if I start to look a little familiar, that's why, and I apologize in advance if that bothers anybody. I know some people love when people pre-record. I know some people hate it. So bear with me. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming shortly after. Hey, buddy. So for our First Impression Friday that we're going to record today, Mr. Megatron's joining us. I got my hands on the BH Cosmetics, hold that thought, the BH Cosmetics Blend and Sculpt set. So this was actually at Marshall's for $16.99, so I went ahead and scooped it up. It is available on Amazon, so I will leave a link to it down below for the Amazon listing so that if you want it, you can get it there. And it's actually only about maybe $8 more expensive on Amazon, so not bad, and it is eligible for Amazon Prime if you have it. So that's what we're going to start with today, and that's going to involve the face. Let's get my hair out of this equation. Alright, so that's better. Although this one hair, that's a gray hair, and that's why it does whatever it wants. It says, you're trying to clip me. Good luck with that. So we're going to start with a little bit of primer. For our primer today, we're just going to use the Clinique Superprimer. It's their universal primer. That hair, I'm going to yank it out of my head because it's going to drive me crazy. So if you guys have never used this, it's just like your basic silicone primer. Nothing too special, but also not like irritating or anything like that. Alright, we're going to leave the eyes alone because that's going to be a separate First Impression Friday. So let's dive into this. So looking at the description on the box, there are a few wild hairs here and there that are cut. I don't know if you guys can see that, but looking at the description on the box, I have the 113 and the 116 in my hand, and these are the round blending face brush and the flat blending face brush. So we're going to use these to apply foundation. I'm going to start with this one because I traditionally use this style, and we're going to see how we feel about it. It's nice and dense, but not so dense that it won't be able to blend. So let's do it. Maybe we'll use one on one half and one on the other. That sounds like a plan. So for today's purposes, we're just going to use our Makeup Forever HD. This is the Ultra HD, and this is shade number Y215. So we're going to start with this guy. We're going to use him on this side of the face. Cambria has been very needy today. So you guys have been warned. You're going to hear him whining. Okay, it does a pretty good job. I'm not unhappy with it. I do feel like the reason I primarily don't use this style of brush is I feel like a lot of product gets stuck in the middle and is really hard to get out. But the cat's going to bug the dog until he runs off. That's what's happening right now. And now he's going to chase him out of the room. That cat is so mean. But I'm very happy with this overall. I'll have to use a different brush around my nose. And then I want to try to build a little bit of coverage there. And that's one thing that flat top brushes are really good for, is like packing on coverage. I would say that works pretty well. Alright, let's do the other side of the face. I'll probably have to get out some more foundation. I feel like this one is absorbing some product too. I'll show you what I mean when I get done with both of them. Make sure we don't have any weird blend lines in the center of the face. This brush definitely has more give than the flat top. So trying to like stipple on the coverage is not going to work out so well. I feel like both of them look good. Both brushes definitely work well, but you definitely get more coverage with the flat top. You like that? It's very 3D hair right now. I would say when it comes to this set, I would use this for your foundation and I would use this for powder. And what I was talking about, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. Do you see how much foundation is now in the center of the brushes? I definitely feel like it absorbs some product, so that's kind of a bummer. It's not a deal breaker, but it's a little bit of a bummer. So we're going to do a little bit of concealer. For concealer, we're going to use this guy because this is typically what that style of brush is geared towards. I want this concealer to be brighter, so we're going to have to use the only concealer that is brighter than my skin right now, which is the Bobbi Brown Porcelain number 1 and the Serum concealer. It is not cruelty free, but it's the only thing I have right now that is brighter than my skin. This is obviously from when I worked at Sephora. That is going to take too long. So these are the same size. I'm going to use this one overall and this just in smaller areas. With this, you want to do more of a dabbing motion. For some reason, this actually does not look brighter than this foundation, which is kind of funny. Hi, Panzer. We have a chatty cat and a squeaky cat. I'm going to take the little guy. And we still can't set everything because I want to first use a cream highlighter to further test this brush. This is the one I got in, I think, my Ipsy bag. I don't know how well you guys can see it because it's more of a natural cream highlighter. It doesn't look, I mean, on most people it probably looks pretty bright, but since I'm super pale, it doesn't look super bright on me. It seems like it does a good job of pushing the product into the skin, this brush. So it seems like it's pretty good at its job as well. The only cream contour that I own is Colourpop, and we're going to use, it's Bon Voyage. We are going to use that with the BH Cosmetics 117, which is the flat contouring face brush. I'm not sure if these are dried out yet or not because I hate using my Colourpop. So they just sit in my drawer and don't get used. So you can kind of see it. It might be too dried out for this. Seems like it's doing a pretty good job of applying the product. Unfortunately, it looks like this is pretty dried out, so I'm having a hard time getting product off of it. It's nice and soft, but it seems dense enough that it can actually do a contour. Let's do a cream blush. Let's keep it going. We're going to use Colourpop Cruel Intentions. That for some reason has lipstick all over it, so now it's going to be all over me because this is my life. And we are going to use the last face brush. That is number 114. Now, I don't think this one is too dried out. I'm pretty sure this one still worked the last time I used it. Yes. My very first impression as I use this brush is, holy crap, it's huge, Batman. I feel like this is going on very patchy, but I don't know if that is the brush's fault or if that is the blush's fault. So, it's hard to judge that. This brush is doing well as long as I stipple. I don't know if that's true of the brush itself or if that is because of the blush being dried out, but as long as I'm stippling, it's going on pretty nicely. Trying to do like back and forth blending was not working out. So now that we have used a bajillion cream products, we need to use a clear setting powder. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. Soft Luminance. I was going to use the Cover FX one, but the Cover FX one does have a slight tint to it. We're going to use this guy and see how it goes. Like I said, as of right now, my opinion is that this brush is better for powder. The other one is better for your actual foundation products. Let's find out. So what I like about this brush is that for setting powder, it's actually big enough that it covers a pretty large area pretty quickly, but it's not so big that it's like hard to control. So I definitely think I am gonna like this for setting powder products. I don't like that there's this random wild cut brush here. I'm going to have to cut that down with my brow scissors. I'm gonna take just a regular contour color and do a little bit of like nose contouring, things like that, so we can see how these do. I think I'm just going to use the 122. So we used the 118 for highlighting. So let's try the 122 for contouring. Although there are like flat options if you want a harsher like line, but I don't like a hard line for contouring, especially not on the nose. I prefer for it to look natural. It's a good little brush for that. I feel like it would fit into the crease really nicely too, so that's exciting. I'm happy with that. There is also another option we could have used, which is the 119, which is like the smaller version of like the blush style brush. I feel like it could very easily do like the line down and then push the product back, but I prefer more of the rounded top style blending brush. But I definitely think there are two different very good options for that in here. This would also be really, really good, in my opinion, for doing under brow like highlighting and concealer. So we're going to take it with a little bit of highlight powder and just go right below the brow. So for people who like to go around their brows with concealer, I feel like this brush should be really good for blending that out. Or around the lips even. I would have to say my first impression of this set is very, very positive. For $16.99, I certainly do not regret buying it, and even if I bought it off of Amazon for $23.95, I would still be very, very happy because I did have this on my wish list on Amazon, so that's why I went ahead and bought it when I saw it at Marshall's. So yeah, check your local Marshall's, see if it's there, and if not, it's on Amazon. The link is in the down bar, and I will see you guys in the next First Impression Friday, where I'm going to have on the exact same face makeup, but we're going to do some eye stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of the First Impression Fridays or any of the other videos I do. Bye guys.